So guys, this is seriously infuriating. My signal, I don't know what it's doing. I'm sat here trying to do it on my laptop to try and get Facebook Live, but for some reason it won't work in Safari, so I have no idea what's going on. I'm going to go back down to my router. Hopefully my signal won't die this time. Can't make any promises, but yeah, what the hell is with phones? I put it onto my 4G and that doesn't even work either. So anyway, as I was saying before it cuts off, and hopefully it won't cut off again, let me get right down by my router, right down under the cupboard. Yeah, mind the age gap. Let's see how quick I can say this before it cuts off again, the bloody thing. Technology, hey? I really need like a booster. I've got full signal. What's that even about? So, anyway, mind the age gap. Stuck us in a house, loads of opinionated people, crazy, crazy, crazy. We filmed for 2 weeks straight, no break, no interruptions from the outside world, just loads of alcohol, really loud, set in their ways people, you know, people from all different backgrounds that are going to come together and deliberately clash. So there was people there that didn't like homosexuals, that didn't like Muslims, that didn't like politics and everything like that, like all of the different walks of life, to bring people together that are gonna clash. And that's what makes good TV, doesn't it? You know, you want to take someone that doesn't believe in something and put them with someone that does believe in something, so that they're then going to either teach each other or have a massive falling out. So anyway, if you guys were watching the show last night, Mind the Age Gap, Channel 5, 10 p.m, running from Monday to Friday this week. Blah, 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 blah. 2 weeks of filming makes it into 5 hours of television. So they literally cut out 99% of what went on. You miss the bits where, you know, the old and the young. There wasn't that massive divide, I don't think, personally. You know, I was the eldest of the youngest, so being 29, I was the oldest young person in there, and then the oldest old person was 83, Dee, and I got on so well with her. Like, she's absolutely brilliant. You know, regardless to me what someone thinks of a religion or a political party or, you know, anything to do with anything, I will still be friends with someone if I like that person. So if they tell me, oh, you know, I don't believe in people wearing pink vest tops, you know, I won't dislike them for that. I'll just say that's your opinion. And then I can still have an adult conversation with them about recipes or about knitting, you know. So I don't judge people on that. You know, I'm very open-minded in that sense. So anyway, they put me in there knowing that I'm single and knowing that I'm very outspoken in sexuality and things like that. Bear in mind, I'm in this house for 2 weeks with no way of escaping. And I love orgasms. So a way that I unwind is to do yoga, is to exercise, to work out at the gym, burn off some energy, and yes, orgasms. Being on camera, obviously, I couldn't do anything like that. I couldn't even hide in a bloody cupboard. There was nowhere to go. I couldn't take any toys with me because my bags were checked and searched. So I'm sat there like with all this pent up excitement and aggression. I'm like, argh, going absolutely crazy. All the things that you would normally do to unwind, to de-stress. You know, you'd take a long soak in a bath, drink a bottle of wine, have like a little kinky evening. You can't do any of that. So we're all twitching for all the home comforts that we're really missing. And for me, that's one big thing that I really do enjoy is orgasms. So I couldn't. So I'm like this. I'm looking at table legs thinking like, I'm going to sit on that thing in a minute. Like, you know, as crude as that sounds, if you are highly sexed or highly charged, to have that ability taken away from you, it's like someone quitting smoking, I'd imagine. You know, you need that kind of home comfort. You need that kind of routine and that reassurance of something that you find a release in. So anyway, they said to me then, you know, the other housemates, we're going to get you online dating, because I've never online dated before. I did a TV show called Naked Attraction where I was asked to pick a date on TV based only on sexual chemistry, and that was a really cool experience, you know, an experiment. I really enjoyed that, found that really exciting, because I've always dated based on people that I meet face to face. So I think, do I have a connection with this person? Do I get on well with them? Are they easy to talk to? You know, is this somebody that, you know, I have a connection with? Are they a nice person? That's how I've always seen dating. So when I did a TV show about dating based on lust, you know, are they attractive? Am I turned on by this person? Do I want to see if they have a personality to match? That was like the opposite way that I've ever seen dating. So it opened my eyes that actually good looking people aren't assholes all the time. You know, there can be someone that you are physically attracted to that does have a good personality. So again, that was something that taught me a lesson. I really enjoyed that. So they were like, you know, it's 2017, everyone uses Tinder. It's an online dating app where you basically post a picture of yourself, and if somebody likes it, then you match with them and then you can talk to them. So I was like, okay, I'll give it a go. So the housemates helped me to set up a Tinder profile, which, you know, I'm really rubbish with technology. Didn't know how to use it, but you have to do like swiping. I didn't swipe. I just ticked like green arrows or red crosses, whereas they're like, no, you use the screen to do it. And I was like, had no idea, completely new to all this. So anyway, I was on Tinder, and then Dee, her name's Debbie, but you know, she's known as Dee. She's 83 and she's bloody amazing. So like, she's doing yoga with me. She's like doing the splits in the garden. She's wearing leopard print. She's got blonde hair. She's like a bombshell. She's so funny. Like everything about her, we just clicked. And she has such a great sense of humour towards life. You know, she's like me in 50 years' time. She's 83 and I'm 29. And we were both looking at Tinder. It was absolutely hilarious. So basically the whole, I don't know if you guys know Tinder very well. It's something that I've just learned about. The whole thing is that you post a picture, and if people like you, they match to you. So you're judging people on how they look. And then if you match, then you can speak to them and get to know them. And then like people go on dates and stuff. So that's how it all worked. So we're looking at men kind of like window shopping on an iPad, and we're like, yes, no, yes, no. And she's saying to me like, oh, he's, you know, he wouldn't be good for you, or, you know, this is the kind of man you should go for. Like, she was giving me all this advice, and it was so funny. Like, I was like, okay, like, you know what to look for. You've been there, you've done that, you've got the t-shirt. You know, I always mess up with dating, clearly, because I'm single. So it was nice to have like a wise old owl give me this kind of advice. And then anyway, so one of the guys had a picture of him with a dog on the screen as his profile picture. And if you put a picture of a dog on a dating app, you know, it's just screaming for a little bit of banter about bestiality, or, you know, that's just my sense of humour. So when she said to me like, oh, you know, he looks nice, and I was like, well, him or the dog? And she was like, oh, and I said, you know, it all depends on what kind of breed of dog it is, whether you turn up to the date or not. And then she said, like, do you realise what you're saying? And I was like, yeah, you know, like, just as I would joke with my friends, yeah, you know, I was like, but I wouldn't actually have sex with a dog. And then I was like, dum again. And it was like that kind of comedy timing, like, you know, when you just say little witty comments, you're like, ha, but then actually, shit, we're on television and it's all been aired to the nation, and I'm talking about having sex with dogs. You know, like, it doesn't really sink in how you would laugh with your friends. And then, you know, actually it's been analysed by a psychologist and things. I would just like to state, you know, for the record, I've never had sex with a dog before. That was literally just banter, because this guy had a picture of a dog in his profile picture on a dating app, which I thought was pretty funny, and I just said the first thing that came to mind. So, yeah, and just to kind of further verify the fact that I don't have sex with dogs, my dog isn't here at the minute. He's gone upstairs to go sleep on the bed. I have a chihuahua. So, you know, if I wanted to have sex with dogs, then I would probably have a really big dog with a better anatomy than a chihuahua. You know, not that I'm justifying bestiality at all, but, you know, like, I think it's pretty obvious that I don't have sex with dogs. So anyway, that was like one thing. And then I just get all of this abuse on Twitter saying, oh, this girl just said that she's had sex with a dog. And I was like, oh my God, do they not get sarcasm and banter? So then anyway, I don't filter what I say. I just go balls deep every time. We were then looking at chat up lines, because I didn't realise on Tinder, you know, once you match with someone, they send you a message. It's so bloody cheesy. So, like, the lines people use are like, oh, you know, did it hurt when you fell from heaven? And blah, 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 all these things like that. Like, the really kind of cliche chat-up lines. So then I was like, oh, okay, like, when people write to you, you've got to then, like, write back with something equally cheesy. That seems like the done thing. And I don't use chat-up lines, so I was like, okay, we're going to have some fun with this now. Let's reply to people. So they cut out all the bits of me reading messages like, what the hell are these people writing? That's so random. And then they just put my responses. So this guy was called Richard. that wrote to me on Tinder. So I was like, oh, you know, for short, Richard, you call him Rick, Dick, you know, like that's how you shorten the name, Richard. So I was like, I'm just going to reply with the spunky emoji. So then I was like, okay, it's like little droplets of water. I was like, your name's Dick, so here's some spunk splats. Like, that's just what I found funny. And then another guy was called Daniel. An ever loving a pun, been a writer. I thought, Dan, oh, that's a way to, like, you know, put something across. So I said, like, hi Dan, do you want to go Dan on me? Which probably, you know, sounds a little bit slutty, but at the same time it was just one of those like Tinder bants. Ivy says, my girlfriend and I have cheesy conversations when we can. Yeah, it's a thing, right? With my friends, I would not think twice about telling jokes like that, about having banter like that. But then I guess when you're on television, you're with a load of strangers, you know, we really did connect and we got on so well, and like literally everyone in the house was having banter, like especially the older guys. That's what I found so funny. Like, you'd expect them to be a little bit like, oh, that's, you know, that's not appropriate, but they were so quick to respond and so witty. We just fired off of each other constantly. And I really enjoyed it, but they just didn't put any of that in, which makes it look like I'm just making these kind of like pedo-nymphomaniac remarks, which I did, obviously, but it was in context. That was when it was shown on the telly, taken out of context, just made me look like a complete pervert. And I was like, cheers. So anyway, that was like my Tinder experience. But it was just me replying to people with equally cheesy banter that made me look like some kind of weirdo. But it was good fun and I enjoyed it. So yeah, there you go. Now on to the Naman situation. And I think this is something, you know, that I think you guys can maybe help me to understand and explain to me. I'm getting angry faces going across the screen. Uh-oh, what have I done? What have I said? So basically, there was a guy on the show called Naman, who is Muslim, and he is gay. I think he came out, did he say in 2012 or something? So he came out publicly about his sexuality about 5 years ago. John says, the problem is the real world isn't ready for real. They want to give people a reason to complain. It gets them more views. Yeah, no, I'm all about being real. I don't censor what I say just to please other people. I don't need to be liked or loved. I'd rather, you know, if someone likes you for being you, then that's genuine. And if they don't, then, you know, you can't please all the people all the time. So thank you for that. So basically, anyway, this housemate, Naman, he'd been on some other TV shows before, and his purpose, as he told us frequently, was that he wanted to be famous. So there was like cameras everywhere, like just like Big Brother, fixed cameras on all the walls and all the rooms, microphones on you. You can't escape, you can't get away from them. So we're all like, oh, you know, I really need to go to the toilet, or I really need to do a fart or something. It's a bit embarrassing. I need to hide and, you know, go do a wee. Don't want anyone to hear. Whereas he's there like looking at the cameras, like hi, like doing his best angles and like all of that stuff. And he was like constantly singing at the top of his lungs, like la, trying to like put on this performance as if it's like the X Factor or the Eurovision Song Contest, because he clearly wants to be a singer or a performer. So he's like really acting up to the cameras, looking at all the mirrors, like pouting and doing all this stuff. And we were like, Naman, give it a rest. Like just be yourself, just chill out. Why are you constantly trying to do these things, you know? And we sat down and had dinner. We're all at the table. And he just said, yeah, I'm going to be famous. Like, everyone loves me. Everyone's going to know my name. And, you know, they're going to put me up in lights. And I'm this amazing person. And he turned around and just said, like, I'm better than you all here. You know, I'm actually going to be famous and you're all just nobodies. And then we were like, what the fuck is this? Like, why are you saying these things? Like, he was so self-obsessed and constantly saying, I'm Muslim and I'm gay and what's your problem? I'm Muslim. And we were like, well, that's okay. You're allowed to be homosexual. You know, like, you don't have to explain yourself to people. Just be you. Like, you know, no one's judging you for being that. But he, like, in every conversation, he wanted to say, I'm Muslim and I'm gay. It's me. I'm Muslim and I'm gay. Look at me. And we were like, oh my God, like just chill, like relax. You know, you don't Like maybe he's just used to being judged and people being horrible to him in the outside world, you know, like in daily life and on social media. Maybe he was so used to people just treating him badly that when he was around everyone, he just could not relax. He was constantly like throwing it at us. Look at me, I'm gay and I'm Muslim. When nobody had a problem with that, like, you know, nobody said, oh, that's, you know, there was 3 gay people in the house. Lynn was a lesbian and Jed and Naman were gays, you know, like men that are homosexual and a woman that's homosexual. So, you know, I don't know how you say that politically correct. There was 3 gays in the house. A quarter of us were gay. I'm not gay, but you know what I mean? A quarter of us, out of 12 people, 3 of them were in same-sex relationships. So it wasn't like we were like, oh, you're the only gay in the house. It wasn't even like, oh, you're the only non-white in the house, because there was a black girl, if you're allowed to say black these days. You know, whatever the thing is, nobody had a problem with anyone. But it was this constant, you know, look at me, that was really draining. And then, so basically, this fight then kicked off where, like, Naman was just bitching about everyone. Like, I mean, the first thing he said to me when I met him was, show me your tits and your vagina. And I was like, what? I was like, I've only just met you and you come up to me and just say the most outrageous, random things just to get a response. And then I thought, well, you know, no one's ever asked me that, but, you know, I'm quite open and liberal. I just thought maybe that's just how he is. And I was like, okay, not going to show you my genitals, but, you know, okay, I'm not going to be offended by that. That's just your way, maybe. So then he's going up to people and he's saying like, oh God, I can't stand this person. And then as soon as they walk into the room, he's like, hi babe, yeah, come give me a hug, and like kissing them on the cheek. And we're sat there like, you were just slating them, and then now you're all over them. And then like he would come up to me and just try to bitch about other people. And I said, Naman, why are you saying these things? Like, that's really unkind. And he said, why won't you just bitch about someone? Why won't you be nasty about them? And I said, because that's not what I'm about. I wouldn't do that. And he was like, oh, that's boring. And then I went off to someone else to go and bitch. And then I was like, oh my God, like people actually do that and think it's normal and nice. Maybe I'm not used to that. Like maybe I've spent enough time being around on my own by myself that I wouldn't treat people that way. And then like he'll speak to me and I listened to him and I just said like, you know, I'm not gonna back away from you. If you want to talk to me, I'm here for you. Because I really felt that he was struggling. Like he was there getting drunk, as we all were. You know, it was a situation where we were given so much alcohol. Tom says, you're not actually reading this, aren't you? Tom, I'm trying to read the comments, but I also have a lot to say. Please bear with me while I just get this out there. And I do come back and read comments. But I value everything you guys say to me. Jack says it's common for people to demand photos like that. It doesn't surprise me. Yeah, when he came up to me and just asked to see my boobs, I was like, really? But, you know, I'm not shy about boobs. Anyway. What was I saying? God, I totally lost my train of thought there. So he's there and, you know, we're all drinking, we're all out of our comfort zone in a really crazy place with loads of really opinionated, loud people. It's not normal for any of us. We're all trying to adjust and accept other people. So, you know, I don't judge him for drinking, but he's throwing it in everyone's face. I'm gay and I'm Muslim. I'm gay and I'm Muslim. And then he's eating pork and eating bacon in front of a camera, like face to face with the camera like this. Look at me, look at me. And I'm like, oh my God. Then he starts saying, so I don't actually know what his origin is, if he's Indian or Pakistani or what ethnicity he is. But he sat there saying, my family tried to marry me off to a hairy Paki. And the whole house was like, why are you saying these things? Why are you being so cruel to anybody, to a whole race? Like, he might be Pakistani himself. I don't actually know. But yes, Abishka, this is disgraceful, you've just said. It was disgraceful. And, you know, it hurt me to hear the things that he was saying. But he felt that because because of his skin color or because of his religion or because of his sexuality, he could say hurtful things about people and it was okay. But it wasn't okay. To use the word packy is not okay. I don't think that's okay in my books. And to hear him saying that about either himself or his people or similar religions or ethnicities, like, I felt really uncomfortable with that. And I said, why are you saying the words hairy packy, or arranged marriage, or I'm Muslim and I have tattoos, I'm Muslim and I'm drunk, I'm Muslim and I'm eating pork. I thought, God, that is so disrespectful. And I said to him, like, you are really going to put yourself in a bad light, and you're going to be open to such negativity and such hatred because of how you're behaving. And I hope that people don't judge an entire race or an entire kind of person based on his singular actions, because that's not something that I think is fair. And I don't think that represents that minority very well. It's not healthy to behave in that way. And obviously people are going to look at that. The people that watch the TV show are going to say, like, this one man is representing us in a horrendous light. And equally, I don't want them to judge young people in that way. I don't want them to judge men in that way. I don't want them to judge Muslims in that way or gay people in that way. It's not fair to be so self-destructive and attention-seeking to get airtime, like, for such negativity. Jeremy says, just slap him in the face. Seriously, it got to the point where everyone just thought, what are you doing? Like, and I would never slap him in the face. I tried to talk to him and say, Naman, please don't behave like that. Please don't be so cruel to people. Please don't be so ignorant. And he's just saying, I'm going to be famous. Look at me. And we just thought, like, okay, we're all on a TV show. We're all going to be seen for the people that we are. You can't hide who you are. Just be yourself. But he was just acting up on every chance that he could get. So basically last night it all kicked off with a massive row. And the way that it was shown was not how it actually happened. Jay says, technically Indian is the only ethnicity for anyone for subcontinent, Pakistani or Bangladesh or India, as these two nations were broken post 1947. So yeah, I don't know about things like that. I have Indian friends, I have black friends. I only know what I know from people I know, from what you have that direct association with. So for me to have met a gay Muslim, I was like, oh, that's new to me. And he said, I'm very religious, and I can smoke, and I can drink, and I can get drunk, and I can have a relationship with a man. I said, oh, is that how people are in England these days? Because I don't know how people were or how other people are. He is the only person I've come across like that. So, I was open to that. And equally, like with religion, he said, I go to the mosque and I pray and I'm very religious. And, people were talking about extremism and terrorism. And I said, like, if you really believe in a religion, you're so strong in it. Is that why people are led into extremism? Because, they have such a strong belief. They will do anything that is asked of them and they will believe what's told to them. Do they question it, or is that just like the next step on the ladder, And it was just weird to hear people's views. And I just thought, like, I wouldn't ever judge someone for what they think, because, when asked about my own religion, people said to me, do you believe in God? What religion are you? I was raised a Catholic by my family. My nan was a nun. And I actually said, well, I don't believe in a specific God or religion in that sense. I'm more spiritual. I believe we are created or put here by a higher being, a greater being than a human that walks on this earth. I believe there's an energy, a spirit, a kind of thing that lives on after you die. We don't just end with this life. And whether you see that as religion or something higher, I see that as perhaps, use the word alien, not like a little green man in a UFO, but I feel like there's a bigger presence and being that is responsible for us, that has put us here, and whether we're here for a reason, you know, that isn't perhaps obvious to us at the moment, whether we're here for a purpose, like, you know, we keep cows here to feed humans. Are we the cows to someone else? You know, is there this whole other universe and solar system that uses us as cattle or, you know, supermarket food? You have no idea, you know. But I do feel that there is something bigger. I do believe we are not just us, you know. So you know, I spoke to one of the older housemates who's called Eddie. He's in his 70s, and he actually said to me, Tracy, what you're saying and how you're feeling, how I connect with nature, how I have love and positivity towards people, how I love meditation and yoga. He said, you know, you connect with Buddhism. You're a Buddhist. And I just said, wow, you know, I've never even researched Buddhism. I don't know anything about it, but he said, like, you know, the way you view life and how you feel about life, that's what you are. And I was like, okay, you know, I'm open to that, and I will read books on that and understand it. Jack says, the thing is, even if he does look white, that doesn't mean that he isn't part of some other race as well because of it. Racism is not okay. Ancestry helps too. Yeah, God, there's that whole debate on racism. It's like this massive melting pot. But anyway, back to the row. Sorry, guys, I'm going off on a tangent. Back to the row. So they showed this small clip snippet of what happened. Naman was removed because of threatening violent behaviour. He tried to attack a woman. He launched at her, screamed at the top of his lungs. His whole persona changed. He went from being like angry and screaming in her face, calling her a bitch, to actually, you know, when someone looks possessed, like his face was like, he was shaking. His eyes were just glowing. We didn't recognise him. He looked like he was going to murder her because he turned around and said that he had already signed up to 2 TV shows. He was going to be famous. He was going to be on Big Brother. He didn't give a damn what he did or said because he was better than everyone. And he said, you're a skinny bitch. He was roaring and screaming at Ty, who was a black girl on there that had this whole thing about racism. It was like this really heated thing. She didn't have a problem with Naman. Naman was just goading the whole house into saying, look at me, I'm better than you, I'm this, I'm that. I don't give a fuck what people think. I'm going to eat pork, I'm going to sing, I'm going to have a problem with everyone. And he launched at her to attack a woman. So me and Jed, we got in the way. We stood there, we had to hold him back. We've got our arms out. Naman, don't hit her. What are you doing? That was all cut from the show. Like, literally, it just showed Naman saying, you're a bitch. And then he cried. And then the bodyguards, all the security stormed in and pulled him out of there. So none of that was shown. You didn't see the kind of psychotic anger and screaming. Like, he shrieked, and all the older housemates are in bed. This was like 3 a.m. He's so drunk. He's staggering around. Everyone thought a woman had been murdered, and it was Naman screaming at the top of his lungs. He sounded like a woman. He was howling, and it was the most horrendous, horrific, disgusting act I've ever seen. And that wasn't aired. It was just this kind of 1 minute, him screaming at Ty saying, you're a bitch, and then suddenly he says, I'm going to leave. He didn't leave. He was forcefully removed, and they refused to let him back in that house. You know, and then he made this statement, you know, I'm walking away because it's not for me. No, he was removed and told you were not allowed to return. He tried to return, and they just said, you need help. You can't come back. You're not in a healthy position. And I think, you know, hand on heart, it wasn't good for him to be in there. And I don't think anything good will come from the way that he behaved. He touched people indecently. All of that was cut out of there. And I just think, like, oh my God, what the fuck? Wow. But you know what? After he left, it was such a better place. People were so much calmer. There wasn't that intensity. Jack, this is intense. It's fucking crazy. Like, literally, I took myself out of that. Carl says, shout out. Hi, Carl. Michael says he needs a lot of help. He does. And I really do hope that, you know, before we went on the show, we all had to see a psychiatrist, make sure we were sound of mind in order to deal with racists, homophobes, you know, all of that. We had to be able to deal with that situation. We were all cleared to be safe to participate. I think now, you know, he is has been through that counselling and guidance, and I hope he finds peace. Benny says, too much negativity for that kid. Oh God, he was just desperate to be famous and desperate to be accepted. He went about it the whole different, wrong, unhealthy way. And I think he's safer being away from the limelight because, you know, it's hard, really hard. So Jack says alcohol seems to be deteriorating his state of mind. Without alcohol, you know, he was a very sad, troubled man. With alcohol, he was just vile and aggressive and horrendous. And you know, I can't speak. I'm not the best when I'm drunk. I make flippant remarks and I'm like, haha, I think I'm funny. I'm not funny, you know, but with my friends, it would be like, haha, you're bantering. You know, when you're on telly and you make jokes about having sex with the dogs, probably, you know, not in the best light, but, you know, I don't do that to hurt people. I don't do that to put people down. I certainly would never say that I'm better looking than anyone else or I should be famous or anything like that. God, no, I don't have a stick up my ass. I don't think I'm incredible. That's not what I'm about in life. Like, you know, I just couldn't be that kind of person. And when someone like that is just so in your face, you know, I still gave him the time of day. I still attempted to understand him and see where he's coming from. And even though I didn't agree with his lifestyle and the way he treated people and the way he spoke, I still tried to listen, and I was there for him when other people just couldn't give him the time of day. Because, you know, I'd never want to see someone left out. I'd never want to do that. But, you know, there was a thing, we went and we all played a board game in the bedroom. We all had different rooms and we all shared with different people. I was in a room with 4 other people up in the roof at the top floor of the mansion. So we just, in our bedroom, the people that shared a room, went to play the board game. And he said, where are you going? I was like, oh, you know, we're taking snacks upstairs, we're playing a game. Because he was sat downstairs talking to Kevin, who was one of the older housemates. So he just said, where are you going? Oh, we're going up here, because he was already doing something with someone else. So then it was like this whole thing of him saying, I'm being left out. But he just turned around and said to everyone, I don't want to be with you. You know, I'm better than you all. Leave me alone. So it wasn't that I wanted to leave him out. It was, he said, I don't want to be around anyone. You know, I'm too good for you all. So it was like this whole thing. And then he was trying to say, look, they're leaving me out to people. And then they turned around and said, no, you know, nobody's leaving you out. You're just being really horrible to everyone. So, you know, we didn't leave him out. He just wanted to make a thing of alienating himself and trying to be nasty. So it's just really strange. A horrible situation to be in. Horrible situation. And so I just found that going out in the garden, meditating, working out, and just being at peace and being in my own space, you know, that's what I needed. That kind of, okay, if everyone's screaming and arguing, that's not for me. I don't want to be a part of that. I took myself away from it. And so many people said to me, like, you know, when the show first went out, the first episode, they're like, Tracy, you're so quiet. You're not even speaking. I spoke to everyone, you know, I got involved with lovely conversations. I taught the older people how to cook. We sat and did sewing. We talked about how they grew up and the war and things, but none of that made it to screen because I guess it was too safe and boring, you know. So I wasn't just sat there like being quiet, like as what it can come across. That was just small snippets of, you know, if someone sat in the corner yawning, it makes them look like they're yawning about a discussion on politics. No, they were just in the corner yawning after they'd had a nap or something. It's all taken out of context to make it look how they want it to look. They want to show that there's a divide between old and young. But actually there wasn't a massive divide. We all got on so well, you know, aside from certain people being really insane. Benny says, Tracy, quiet. God, guys, you know me, I'd never be quiet. Not that I need to constantly talk and be like in people's faces, because I'm not like that, you know. I sat in the corner, I read a book, I went and cooked lunch for everyone. I was doing housework, I was like doing the dishes 24/7. I was hoovering, I was tidying up, you know. I wasn't just sat there doing nothing. But the clips they show, they kind of want to say, oh, look, they're struggling to get on and they've got all these differences. No, God, we got on so well, and it was so nice to meet people from different walks of life. But, you know, as the week goes on, I'm sure they're then going to show you what it was really like, how we were like, you know, just hanging out, how old and young we're together, and how different genders, different races, different religions were actually having a really nice time. So I guess they've got a show at the start, oh, shock horror, this is so divided, and then maybe at the end they'll go, oh, but actually now they're all friends. But you know, the reality of it was we were all friends all along because they're nice people. They just do outrageous things. Jack says, you can't help the ones that don't want to be. That is up to the person and that person alone. Exactly. You're responsible for yourself. And how other people act is up to them. So there you go. But basically, blah, 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 blah. That was just what I wanted to say about the show. And, you know, I participated, I saw everything, and what they're showing on television is such a small snippet. It doesn't show the full reality of it. And it's a little bit saddening that there's 12 people in that house and just a few people are given airtime. And I think it's not fair because the older guys, they were so lovely. You know, I got on so well with people and they had such valid things and opinions that they brought to the table and debates and discussions and life experiences that I really hope they will share. Benny says, you were the secret kitchen housekeeper. Yes. God, you know me, I'm constantly on the go. I'm OCD with housework. I was tidying, I was fluffing cushions, I was making beds, I was putting out the laundry. I was, you know, just constantly on the go, but it just looks like I'm sat there going, oh, I know nothing about politics. There's a dog. So random. Daryl says, Tracy, I believe that you'll embrace life in a place of rich cultures and multi-religion, like Malaysia. Oh my God, Daryl, I would love to go there. Like, I was talking to my mum about Sri Lanka the other day, and we were like, oh, wow. And when she's had the rest of her cancer treatment, fingers crossed, you know, it all goes well and she will have her surgery at the end of the year and recover. Next year, we want to go walk the Great Wall of China together. It's just something that is bloody amazing. And, you know, I'm so open to different cultures and beliefs. And that's something we want to do together. And I really hope that's something me and mum get to do. Carl says, social media sometimes cover the realities and accepts negative criticisms. Yeah, God, Twitter, the trolls are horrendous. They're like, look at this girl, what a bitch. She just, you know, stood there with her tits and stuff. People are obsessed with my bloody tits. I'm like, I'm in a house and people know that the heating is on full blast and I can't stand heat. Like, my back doors right now, I don't know if you can see without my signal going, I have all my doors and windows open. I'm boiling. I walk around in vest tops because I get so hot. I'm hot-blooded, and I'm in a house with people with all the windows shut. They've got the heating on full blast. I understand, like, you know, the older people need that heat. They don't want to be cold. They don't want to get ill. They're all coughing and sneezing with the heating on full, and I'm like, oh, God, I'm sweating. I'm walking around, peeling my skin off. I'm in the garden 24/7. They haven't shown me hardly in the garden at all. Like, literally, I spent about 4 hours a day in the garden, and that was at the start of the year when it's really cold outside. There's blustering winds and storms, and I'm out there like, whoo, trying to get some air. It's just crazy. Like, you know, people saying you're walking around with no clothes on. I was like, please turn the heating down. I'm in bed laying with pajamas on when I sleep naked at home because, you know, I want to be considerate to other people wearing pajamas rather than being like naked. I can't be naked around other people in bed because I'm sharing a room and it's on television. So I'm wearing pajamas and I'm overheating, and there's a heater on full blast next to my bed. And I'm like, God, this is so uncomfortable. But I'm not going to tell everyone you're not allowed to have the heating on because I want it cold. You know, I was being considerate. I was being around other people and what they live like and how they feel comfortable. So I adjusted and I put myself out. I was uncomfortable to please others. You know, and it's just madness. People saying, oh, Tracy's only in there because she's got big tits, and people want to say, like, look at her tits. I was like, no, they put me in a house that's boiling hot, knowing that I'm going to wear minimal clothes because I can't stand the heat. And yeah, let me just move away from my router to show you if I can. Oh, it's about 10 degrees today. I have my back door wide open. Can you see my back door there, guys? Wide open in my house. My door is open because I constantly need cold air. I never put my heating on at home. I hardly ever wear jumpers because I'm just always so warm. I just am a warm-blooded person. So there you go. So my phone battery has 7%, which is going to cut off any minute. Sorry for the rant, guys. I am going to go back and read all of your comments. So if I have missed you, please don't think I'm ignoring you. I just wanted to answer some of the critics and the responses to the show because, you know, you see a very small part of it. Andre says, you love the cold, me too. High five to that, Andre. Like, as kids, I'm raised in the country. I'm a country girl. We don't have heating on. We go out in the snow. We walk everywhere. We're outdoorsy. You know, that's what happens. I'm a hot-blooded woman that is used to nature and the outdoors and cold. You know, I go in my garden naked because it's an enclosed private garden. And, you know, and sitting in a house that's hot and stuffy and really angry people, I was like, no, I'm not taking that. So if they show me pictures in the garden, you will always see I'm in the garden in a sports bra and leggings, trying to cool down, doing yoga. And I did that every single day, every morning at the crack of dawn. I woke up and I meditated and did yoga. And it was beautiful and refreshing. And I really needed that peace and serenity. Andre says, I understand you love the cold. Absolutely. Daryl says, it's been difficult before because of my nude picture scandal a few years back. What can I do to come out of that? Daryl, what happened with the nude picture scandal? Please tell me all about this. Carl says, visit us in the Philippines. I would love to. Oh my goodness, it looks gorgeous there. So stunning. I love cultures. I love nature. Yeah, the pictures I've seen of the Philippines are amazing. You're just so far away from England. You know, if I get time to travel and childcare to travel, then I would definitely visit. Everywhere. It's on my bucket list, guys. Ferdy says, have a good day, sweetheart. Thank you. Benny says, you're a hot girl. Oh gosh, I just sweat for fun, like literally. Ivy says, you ought to dress up as Queen Elsa for Halloween. Yeah, Frozen. That's what I need to do, seriously. Yeah, my phone battery is now at 5%. It's going down quick. But thank you guys for joining me. I'm going to quickly do my workout, then I've got to do a load of work and catch up on some features, and I've got to write up my blog about the show. So I hope you all have a lovely day. Sorry, it's just been like a complete crazy rant, but you know, there's so much I just needed to get off my chest there and just put out there so that there's not cross wires. But I love you guys lots and lots, and I'm going to go back and I'm going to read your comments and reply and respond, and I'm here and I see you and I appreciate you and I love you all. So have a wonderful day, my darlings. Be kind to others, accept others, and I think the moral of today and, you know, my outlook on life is live and let live. Everyone's going to be different. Everyone's going to have challenging beliefs and understandings and outlooks and behaviours in life. So you don't always have to agree with them, but allow people to be who they are. Don't judge a book by its cover. And if it's something that you don't agree with, then you just say like, okay, that's for you, it's not for me. Live your life with positivity, treat others how you want to be treated in return, and don't ever expect to have respect from nowhere. What you give is what you have come back on, you know. Give respect, you earn respect. I guess that's my kind of roundabout way of saying it. So yes, positivity, love and light, my darlings, and have a wonderful day, and I will see you all again soon.